Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome back to the 5-Digit World Cup. Here we are with some of our penultimate matches here of the weekend. Back to back to back, all hovering this 19 UTC time slot. Here we are on, I believe this is the A stream, with the one with stakes. It's Peru versus Switzerland in our Group H. Peru, safe for the time being. Switzerland at seed 39, trying to make it into the groups. It will only happen if they beat Peru here. Very scary tidings for each of these teams. Peru fighting for their life, Switzerland as well. My name is Hubba. Joining me on the cast is Dragons. How are you feeling about the matchup?
Yeah, I'm feeling great about this one, Hubba. This is a super interesting match for sure. Big stakes for both teams here, occupying the 2-3 spots in Group H. But big stakes especially, again, for Switzerland, having to win this match, I believe 5-2 or better, for the right to move on to the main bracket. And yeah, I mean, these are two very strong teams here, especially to be seeded, you know, kind of in like the low 20s, low 30s, I believe. So, I mean, just so many strong players throughout this tournament. So this is going to be an exciting one.
For sure. And the strategy here is going to be interesting for these teams, right? Because they are running similar ballparks with regards to their skill set. Peru, a very hard rock heavy team, a bulk of their qualifying scores that were above that top 20 margin were in that HR pool. Same with Switzerland, only 2 below them on that HR1 pick, for example. And then Switzerland as well, having a bit of an edge on some of the tapping maps. But I think this is going to come down to some low SR consistency differentials, because Switzerland, of course, seed 39, they almost barely did not qualify. So they really have to lock in some consistency here to have a chance to defeat Peru in this matchup.
Yeah, and I do think really fun to mention, saying both of these teams pretty hard rock heavy. Those are actually 2 of the bands we have in play right now, both Hard Rock 1 and Hard Rock 3, banned by Switzerland and Peru, effectively here. So this is we do still have Hard Rock 2 open, unless Peru double bans, but
yeah, that is a curious ban. I mean, thinking on the HR1 in quals, for example, that HR1 in quals much more like, I believe, higher BPM, a little more snap oriented. Meanwhile, HR1 in this pool, more high spacing aim, a little bit more mech techish in some of the skill set representation. So that makes plenty of sense. And if you're Switzerland, you are clamoring right now with regards to how this ban phase turned out, because you see the HR2 available. They protected Fremont too. So maybe a little bit of precision comfort here coming through for Switzerland, as Peru getting rid of that Nomad 2, not wanting to face Switzerland on the flow streams, which makes plenty of sense. Neither of these teams really known for their Nomad gameplay.
But yeah, no, really interesting to see the Fremont 2 protect and also Hard Rock 2 open. Switzerland definitely a team after my own heart a little bit here, so that'll be exciting to see where we go with that. And we know that they do have the reading support on that Fremont 2 as well, so but it's their first pick here, so we'll see if they jump right into it, or if they're gonna if they're just gonna take a moment and deal out this match first. But again, there isn't too much match for them to feel out, because again, they need to hold Peru to under 3 points here in order to move on. So we'll see if there's any sort of like urgency in their pick strategy to try to get on the board early.
Mm-hmm. And it is interesting to mention that double HR ban again. I say this in other matches as well, but it's like in MMA, when you have 2 wrestlers going against each other, neither of them really want to wrestle, like they just end up having a boxing match. I think it's a similar vibe with this, where like both of these teams strong on HR, just double ban the HR, I don't want to play that. But the interesting one for me is this No Mod 2 ban. Like, and we do see Switzerland opt for No Mod 3 instead, so maybe it's more of a flow aim ban than it is a tapping ban. Because Switzerland, I think with that HR3 was more targeting some of the tapping, given the BT2 second ban. So Switzerland trying to strike on some flow alt here. No Mod 3 now, and if this works out, they'll have some backup pecs in the pocket for something like DT3 in the future.
For sure, yeah. And yeah, No Mod 3 an interesting pick. Obviously, we have the alt map coming up here. I'm trying to... Again, I swear I had it pulled up a minute ago. One of these teams played it. Oh, there it is, yeah. Yeah, Peru did beat Turkey on this No Mod 3 somewhat convincingly. Had pretty strong scores across the board, so curious to see how comfortable Switzerland's feeling on this. But yeah, so we have folks coming to the lobby here. Switzerland looks like they have their roster filled out for this. Clearly, they have a plan in mind for this No Mod 3. So I imagine we're going to be seeing a similar roster for Peru that we've seen earlier in this tournament. Looks like we're shaking it up just a little bit. I think we have oh, never mind. Maybe not. I was gonna say we might have Yozi coming out, which would have surprised me because he had 800k on it. But yeah, there. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it looks like we have the same roster that Peru has run for this map previously. Someone coming in with Kaai, Ruka, Maitai, Zakatel, and Shadow. So looks like we are getting into it here. So.
Yeah, and Switzerland, as mentioned before, I think this is more of a flow aim focus pick. They're probably going to be running a flow strat when not playing precision maps. I could see something like the Hidden 3 come into fruition as well. But also, in terms of qual stats, this was the only map where Switzerland actually had the edge on Peru, was the No Mod 3 in quals. So maybe trying to strike out at the one skill set they may have a higher skill cap edge on. As already you're starting to see some act drops from a couple of these players, Maitai and Ank, both of them having a little bit of trouble early, but some very quick score flickers, and into the map we go with some Livermorium Rem swimming.
Yeah. Ooh, we got Ank finding the first break on that little snap pattern. So that is going to be the first player down. No one else finding a break here early, but again, longer map isn't going to make too much of a difference quite yet, but as we get into the first Kaai here, we find a break from Shadow. Ank breaking again, so we're gonna trading here early into this Kaai. Everyone else holding strong so far.
Yeah, looking fairly comfortable for the remaining players on Switzerland. I am still looking with bated breath with regards to Maitai, down at 93%. If they drop the combo there, it is going to be devastating for their potential score, but Miguel on H2O, a player I am all too familiar with from my community tournaments, unfortunately to find a break right at the tail end of that Kaai, still opting for Switzerland's combo advantage.
Yeah, for sure, and all of a sudden that low act from Maitai is not as concerning with that break from Miguel. You know, you still have Kayamori and Zakatel holding mid to high 98 here against Yozi holding 98 as well, but Shiranai with that high 94, so ooh, and as I say it though, we got a double break from Maitai and Zakatel, only traded out by Anks, so now it is Kayamori holding it by themselves for Switzerland here, while Yozi and Shiranai still holding strong to the second Kaai. Maybe
it's looking
to see the score.
It's a little scary here. I mean, Shiranai also with some accuracy was, but that score lead climbing back over to Peru. It's a slider break from Yozi right before the break. And I was going to say Maitai, because of the accuracy, their potential score is capped at 500k, so that's going to be a little bit of a downside for Switzerland, but it's Kayamori versus Shiranai now. FC versus FC, tit for tat. Whoever wins this battle wins the map, it would seem, but 100k a buffer for Switzerland, and Peru's running out of time.
Yeah, and really scary for Peru. I mean, Yoshi, kind of their anchor on this map, as previously mentioned. That is the last person you want to go down, especially at this point. And Switzerland's lead just kind of continuing to grow here. I think at around 160k here, we get a break from Zakatel, but that's obviously not the one you need. Ooh. That is, though, but I just don't know if there's enough time.
Oh, it's going so fast.
It's going so fast.
It's Anxe with the supporting combo, but it's not going to be enough. Just not enough note density in that final 10 seconds. Shiro and I with the sole FC, but unfortunately, accuracy being king despite dropping the FC. It's Kaya Mori on the 99% with a 50k advantage over him to confirm the first point for Switzerland.
Yeah, and that's a point that Switzerland really needed. Again, you know, feeling very confident on the Nomad 3, but that's still going to be a super contested pick. That's a pick that you really need if you're Switzerland. You got to be happy about that. All right, so Peru now with the chance to even things up here. See where they go with their first pick. Again, Peru has that hidden 2 protect. Which means, you know, we could also maybe see something like a No on 5, but instead we do have a DT3, it looks like, coming out from Peru, so kind of the opposite side of the spectrum in terms of maps compared to those reading picks, but...
Oh, this is... okay. Wow, dare I say, like, you may have some more intel than I have on how they were performing in previous matches on this map, but this feels like a devastating mispick after losing Nomad 3, right? Like, this sort of felt like this was surely Switzerland's next pick.
Let's take a gander. Yeah, I mean, Peru losing to Turkey on this, I mean, they do have a very strong score from Yoshi that I think that they're kind of banking on here. As for Switzerland, I mean, it looks like Peru is outscoring Switzerland on this. I think Switzerland generally just having some woes here on this map. I believe we are going to be seeing even Galeon guy coming in, as opposed to somebody that was on that last map that I'm just forgetting for some reason. And yeah, so and we do have days coming in for Anx here on the side of Peru. So yeah, I mean, again, nearly identical rosters for the most part, minus 1 player for both sides. So yeah, really interesting to see where Peru is coming from with this pick just immediately after dropping them on 3, but I mean, clearly there is some level of confidence here if they're willing to go into it right after dropping them on 3. So curious to see how this goes for sure. Maybe just, by the nature of it being DT, we could be just seeing some general gappage from Peru here, but
always something to note with potential score downsides. Of course, Osu SV2 and SV1 to an even higher degree is, for the most part, a combo game. You are going to be looking to hold on to these FCs, and as you mentioned with the accuracies, though, if they maintain around this 91 to 93 percentile for both Evangelion and Mai Tai, which seems to be a growing theme for Mai Tai, this is going to be a bit of a rough go-around for Switzerland. They'll be capped around the high 800k mark when a 99% DTFC would be around 1.1 mil. So we're losing out on 200k diff, regardless of FC here, unless we see some recuperation.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously important to mention, much shorter map here, as we see the first break coming out from Mai Tai as we get into this first Kaai, and I mean, and that's a huge one. I mean, their score is already going to be capped pretty hard. Ooh, we do have a trade from Shiranai, but and Miguel as well, so this 230k lead that Peru has already built up is likely going to move over a little bit, but again, with that accuracy, it's not moving over all that fast, though.
Yeah, the scoreline is not going as fast as you would like, but Ruka missing is not going to be helping the cause for concern. Shadow and Evangelion both floating around this 93% range, and I think it's just the finger control, right? There's so many stop and goes in the middle of these patterns. It's Shiranai to break again, but Mai Tai already found so many drops prior, and is about 5% diff from Shiranai, a 130k difference between the two of them. Ruka with that secondary break is not going to be helping, but Daze drops, and now it's a 2FC advantage, but Shadow right behind him. YOZI, as you mentioned, one of the highlight players for him, somebody on a map like this, but now it's Evangelion guy.
Oh, no.
He can't climb back with 500k diff. It's everyone falling over, unfortunately, for Switzerland, and Miguel on H2O. More of a consolation prize to hold the combo at the tail
Oh my
end.
god, the shake from YOZI coming out. Oh my god. But with that, though, Peru going to be taking their first pick, which is, again, if you're Switzerland, not a point that you want them to have. I mean, again, you need to win this match and hold them to 2. So, I mean, again, so scary here for Switzerland. This, every pick matters for them now.
Mm-hmm. I do
But yeah.
think, if I'm Switzerland, I'm also sort of glad, right? Because, like, in my head, I thought their pick strategy would be Floam. So if they did plan on picking that after, it's like, oh, like wiping sweat off the brow. Thank God we didn't pick that, because that was that was a pretty wide score gap.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, so now Switzerland, balls in their court. It's now that I'm curious if now is when they try to shift course a little bit, slide into that something like that Hard Rock 2, or slide into something like that Fremont 2. Just kind of try to break the pace of this match a little bit. Get Peru somewhere where they may not necessarily be as comfortable. Here.
Now looking at these remaining maps, it's going to be Fremont 2 first. Yeah, protect time for Switzerland.
So again, I mean, we've been talking about how how comfortable we can expect Switzerland to be on these picks, but Peru no slouch on them either. We have strong reading players on both sides, especially Zakatel on the side of Switzerland on this pick that we are almost certainly going to be seeing on the hidden, but for Peru, I mean, they definitely have their own hidden fills on this. Miguel and Danu Lover, the players that we saw on this against Turkey, and then the big hard rock carry from Dish on the side of Peru as well. So again, this is likely to be probably closer than Peru might necessarily, or than Switzerland might necessarily want it to be for a protect pick, but obviously they are very confident on this as well. So
yeah, Dish, a phenomenal precision player in his own right. I mean, I'm looking at some of the qual scores here. Dish getting a 701,000 on the quals HR2, which the average score for that map seems to be like a 300k maybe at best. So like the average player getting 300k, he's getting a little bit over double that. So definitely a player to look out for here. Meanwhile, I'm actually, by the same metric, a little bit shocked not to see Kayamori in for this map. Expected them to be on the HR for this one potentially, but seems like it may be going over to Shadow for this map. I could see taking the HR. I don't know. There's a handful of options for Switzerland.
Yeah, that sounds believable. Yeah, it looks like against Turkey, you had Shadow dropping around 650 on this Hard Rock, so and it was a 1-win, so FC definitely not out of the question for sure. YOZI, it looks like maybe coming in here for Peru. Yeah, so interesting to see what he is going to go for here. Looks like he's going to be pulling out the hidden. So a bit of a roster shakeup here for Peru. But I mean, YOZI playing very well. I don't necessarily blame them. We do have a triple hidden actually coming out from Peru, changing the strat a little bit. Yeah, we do not have Dish in the game right now, which is, you know, a little shocking to see given that Hard Rock carry. We also haven't seen him in this match yet in general, so maybe he just isn't here, but you know,
yeah, that is a pretty heartbreaking loss for Peru here, but still, I mean, because of the mod decision with the triple hidden, that is going to pay massive dividends for their accuracy game, right? I feel like we are seeing a growing theme of Switzerland having a little bit of a rough go on some of the AC, especially with this double HR on Mai Tai and Shadow now, is going to be the only difference on the score lead now. First combo break on GG Boy. Luckily for them, as mentioned, it's the highest deck on their team right now for that 99%, so potential score not super gapped here, but it is first quarter down out of the way, and Peru bolstering and building up to a near 100k lead at the tail end of this first Kaai.
Unfortunate break for Mai Tai going into the end of the Kaai, so now it is going to be 2 FCs to, I think almost 4 in terms of Peru. I think Yozi had like a really early break, but yeah, and Miguel actually still holding that double S here as we approach the halfway point of the map, so score lead going to be kind of exploding here inside on the side of Peru, and Shadow breaking in the slow part not going to help either. Is traded by Ganyu Lover, but that is only the first break, or substantial break here for Peru, so score lead is already approaching 250k here as we get to the second Kaai. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, surprising to not see Dish in for Peru, but I mean, the best teams are the teams that have multiple ways to win these free mods here. Like, you know, being able to pivot to a triple hidden roster. We do have a break from Yozi, but again, being able to pivot rosters on these free mods is, you know, a huge advantage. And we're seeing it here with this 360k score lead.
Yeah, still not out of the woods yet for Switzerland. Zacatel holding on to their FC, as well as a handful of recovery scores from the other players on Switzerland. If we do see some unfortunate happenstance on the side of Peru, it is instead Zacatel missing right after the break. And I mean, they saw the scoreline at the break. They knew they had to hold, and I think... yeah, that's gotta hurt. The Switzerland, they know it has just occurred. It is over. A very unlucky protect.
This mod is just impossible, man. I don't even blame Zacatel, really. That's just a brutalness right there. And Miguel not holding that double S anymore, but really solid act, and also very solid act on the side of Shiranai holding mid to high 97 with that hard rock. My bad. Didn't mean it. Didn't. But yeah, this is going to be a 550k victory here for Peru on Switzerland's Protect, which is really not what you want to see if you're Switzerland, especially now that Peru has that 2 points, that 2-point threshold that they need to keep them away from. Switzerland now needs to win 4 straight in order to make the main bracket here. They can't just win eventually. They have to win. Which definitely is very, very scary here. Especially going into Peru's pick.
Yeah, and man, it's just the placement of these misses, right? It's Mai Tai 1 miss directly in the halfway point of the map. Shadow 3, but it was a chain miss. Same position, right around that halfway point. It's a really tough go of it for a lot of these Switzerland players that could have had a better potential score. But big ups to Peru there, I believe, improving upon their score in the Turkey match by some fairly wide margins, going from a 2.8 mil to a 3 mil for one of the better team scores of the weekend on the pick.
Yeah, very, very strong performance. Peru is here to play, absolutely. and with the ball in their court now, I mean, any map is now an opportunity to clinch for Peru. So yeah, I mean, that's a huge win for them on that Fremont too.
And in my head, right, like, normally with Protect system tournaments, you don't see too many of them around, but when you do, I mean, strategy for me personally, you always run the Protect either when you're in the middle of a rainy day situation, your back is against the wall, or when you need to consolidate a breakpoint to put yourself that much further ahead, and I would imagine it's going to be Hidden 2 next, but they're opting for Hidden 3 instead. It's going to be Hibari going into this Hidden 3 slot. This is your incredibly short, somewhat hidden tech pick. A lot of slider aim focus on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, not not 100% able to fully draw comparisons to this to the Nomad 3 that Switzerland took, but going into this kind of flowy, weird aim hidden pick, I mean, obviously, again, Peru, no slouch on this for sure, but I feel like to some extent they're almost kicking into Switzerland at least a little bit, but I mean, I guess after winning the DT3, I'm not really sure how worried they are about that at this point.
I mean, hidden comfort isn't a question. They just went triple hidden on an AR8 map. Like, yeah. the mod is not the issue at all. It's just like, I don't know. It seems like Switzerland, they really enjoy picking into these. I hate to be mapper pilled, but all these movement maps, right? Like, this isn't forcing a lot of cursor movement. There's a lot of weird and small adjusts. There's a lot of like small velocity changes in the middle of kick slider jumps or wiggle patterns. And Switzerland being a team that enjoys their precision, it's going to be somewhat adjacent with as much movement as there is. So looking to stay precise, stay on your toes if you are Switzerland here. You're going to be seeing Kaya, Mori, Ruka hop back in the lobby. Things like Shadow, Zakatel, Evangelion guy. Seems like the core here for Switzerland looking to get their breakpoint back and stay alive in the 5WC.
Yeah, for sure. I think their core just kind of in general very strong on that hidden. So very looking forward to see how they do on this. Obviously they need to get this breakpoint. They need to get this breakpoint in order to stay alive in 5WC. So again, big pressure map here for both teams as well, because again, Peru has the chance to clinch here, and yeah, you've already done most of the work. You just need one more. So awesome 50 on the first slider by Yoshi. That was wonderful. Really dropped from
Shadows, but oh my god, ooh, that
big
is
fat chain mess, yeah. Help me! Oh no, dude.
Dare I say, like, is it just chopped? Like, it's a 200k dip. It's been 20 seconds.
Oh no, I mean, again, still opportunity, but I think literally at this point, with how short this map is, you might just need a massive nuclear bomb to hit Peru right now, and so far it looks like it's only hitting Daze. As we get into some of this wacky slider, I mean, Peru holding so strong on this. 300k already as we're past the halfway point. I really don't know what Switzerland can do here, and yeah, Evangelion guy and Zakatel going down once again. It's just Kaya, Mori, Ruka, and I just don't think there's time.
Yeah, we were talking about Dish potentially missing from this match. It does seem like Switzerland has been running a 5-man roster, maybe some similar roster was. It's Kaya Mori holding on to the sole combo for Switzerland now, but with a 1 million difference, you are this is more visual flair than anything else at the current moment, as Miguel on H2O, actually all 4 members of Peru dropping at the tail end, but they already bolstered up to 800k, and that is all she wrote with a near 3 million team score once more back to back on Peru's 3-1.
And yeah, with that, unfortunately, there is still more match here to be played. But unfortunately, that is at the end of this match, we are going to be saying goodbye to Switzerland here in the 5-digit World Cup 2026. But I mean, again, for them being, I believe, seed 38 or 39, I mean, on the verge of not qualifying at all. Very, very commendable performances from them overall. But again, there's still more match to be played, but congratulations to Peru on advancing to the main bracket here for 5WC. So
Yeah, very comfortable overtake there for Peru, as the seeds would indicate, right? It is a 11 seed difference between these teams. Peru with the better overall score, but Switzerland, you got heart, kid. You kept it up. So it's not going to be a sweep anyway. Looking close here, but it's back over to Switzerland's pick, and they get to show off a little. They still have some picks remaining here. I still think HR2 being open is indicative of some strength.
Yeah, and I do believe there actually are still stakes here for Peru. Winning this match will allow them to leapfrog Turkey in the standings for Group H. So yeah, 2 more points, and they are going to end up atop the standings of their group. So job is not over for them, and I'm sure they know that. So yeah, again, Fremont 2 didn't necessarily go their way, so may not see Hard Rock 2 quite yet, but well, no, I lied. We're gonna see Hard Rock 2 the way. That's
yeah, at this point, might as well, right? It was
for sure.
Hard Rock Pool, it seems to be close between these teams. Peru was clearly banning HR1 for some fear reasons, right? It was one of Peru's better standing maps in that quals, but it was also Switzerland, so sometimes you just gotta ban the stuff you're good at and some necessary evils.
For sure.
Yeah, HR2 going into some cat's eye for the precision map here. I believe mostly snap precision oriented, right?
I'm gonna be so for real, I don't know, but I mean, it's definitely not going to be the world's most standard Hard Rock 2, given that it is cat's eye mapped by Chromasia, but
I didn't see it was mapped by Chromasia. My goat is here. That is my mapping mentor. Expect some peculiar things inbound with regards to slider shapes and velocity changes in jumps. Should be a very hardy precision check, so Switzerland.
I am a big Chromasia Hard Rock 2 fan myself.
Mm-hmm.
Which usually means that I have players calling me insane for that. But regardless, so yeah, looking some similar rosters on both sides. So yeah, probably just some overall roster woes. I wouldn't typically expect Ganyu Lever in for Peru on this hard rock. I definitely know of them more as a hidden. Oh, never mind.
Hello, Miguel. Speaking of hidden players, though.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that's not like a huge change. My sentiment there, all that much. But yeah, again, very very similar rosters. So probably just some woes on both sides here in terms of scheduling. South America, Europe, and maybe not the easiest thing in the world to schedule. Don't blame them at all.
Yeah, but it is rosters in. Mai Tai Shadow been looking solid on the precision picks. Kayamori, this all-rounder for Switzerland, looking to stay strong in this match despite everything. And if they can find some W's here. They definitely have some bragging rights going into next year's edition. HR2 time, Miguel on H2O, Shiranai, and Second Days trying to get this one over with quick if possible, but gotta run through Switz first.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, mentioning those strong precision players on the Swiss end of things. Shiranai on the side of Peru also been playing very, very well on that precision. Forward to seeing all of these players here. And yeah, got some wacky slider flow stuff already here, and we got an early break from Shadow, but it doesn't matter too much here. On this longer map, we got a follow-up break on the big fat slider from Evangelion guy, and it's traded by X, but yeah, it is going to be 3 FCs to 2 here as we get through this first break. Yeah, Peru looking really solid here.
Yeah, cozy here for... Oh my god, Miguel almost got slow slider. Okay, I know you saw that too, that was well.
Yeah, well actually, I was looking at Evangelion guy who did the same thing, so it was, yeah, real scary, but... Oh man. Oh, and yeah, triple break, 2 on the side of Switzerland, one of their FCs. So it's just Mai Tai with that 90% hack, might I add. More breaks, but it is going to be 2 FCs to 2, and 2 FCs to 1, and that 1 on the side of Switzerland is going to be, about 2 to 3% lower than Miguel, the lower of the 2 accuracies on the side of Peru. So. It's looking to be a break from Shiranai though, so, and that is the higher accuracy there, FC for the side of Peru. So 271k gap. I mean, not necessarily over here if we get a big break from Miguel, but we have some decent recovery combo on the side of Kayamori, and also Evangelion guy a little bit here. Actually, kind of everyone on Switzerland is recovering fairly well, but you're not going to get there without a break from Miguel. Oh!
Wait a minute! Well, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, that is tragic. Shadow breaking after as well. I mean, it is still very, very slight combo advantage Switzerland, but not 190k diff potential, unfortunately. Peru gonna be having that hidden to protect in the folds after this extra break point. Likely to overtake that one with Ganyu over Miguel. But in the meantime, Shiranai, just confirming things with a little bit of sauce, I believe. Well, now, on a
entirety of Peru breaking on that note, that was awesome. But yeah, so yeah, Peru now up 4-1 here. They are now on match point. Little S rank from Shiranai there. Yeah. Yeah, man, that map's hard. that map is not very easy, especially in the act department. So, yeah, no, honestly, solid scores on both sides, absolutely. But yeah, with that though, Peru now on match point with their pick in hand. I mean, surely we just see Hidden 2, right? I'm sure they want to play their Protect at some point in this match. Wouldn't be surprised to see it here.
Unless they want to go for a banger and pick No Mod 5 instead, am I right or am I right?
Nope, we got that.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. I love...
Oh, wait. It's the song. Never mind. This is also a banger. We're good. We're in the clear. We're safe.
I love the... Guys, it's like a train. It's like it's the same voice. No way. Wait, guys. Can you believe it, guys?
Guys. I think this headphones guy kind of likes Vocaloid. Thoughts?
Oh, wait.
we might be onto something. It is Peru. It is Doru actually hopping in for their first map, I do believe. Was not present in the Nomad 3 or the Fremont 2 because they can't go for hiddens on Fremont 2, I'm sure is the reason.
Unfortunate.
But Miguel Gagne Yosi got their chops warmed up, got Doru in the folds for an extra reading prayer. Same core for Switzerland. GG Boy hopping back in the lobby. I do believe had a solid showing on the hidden in that Fremont 2 as well. But to put it bluntly, like, if Switzerland gets a breakpoint here, like, we should be bowing to them because this Peru roster is one of the best hidden 2 rosters, like, in the tournament, probably.
Yeah, this roster's nasty, for sure. But again, I mean, definitely on the side of Switzerland, keep an eye on GG Boy, keep an eye on Zakatel, but you're also going to need to to have some help from Kayamori and Shadow as well here, I would expect, going up against this Peru roster, so... Yeah, definitely an uphill battle, but anything can happen here. Yeah, we are getting into it here. Man,
I was looking.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was looking for where the other streams are located, and I didn't realize 5WC doesn't have a proper B stream. It's just like a bunch of
nice.
It's Aki and Tay and the. Well, to give you score lines on the other matches ongoing right now, it is France in a similar position, 4-1 on Spain, currently on match point on the Nomad 5 pick. Poland versus Czechia, currently 4-2, with Czechia's next pick inbound, and so. Lots of pretty solid closers here in this one, but right now it is early showings, drops from Shadow, Kayamori, and Daru, and Miguel, actually, a little uncharacteristic here. And Ganyu,
I would like to point out what's going on here in the bottom left of the screen. We're having a fun time. This pattern actually looks really cool smoked, low-key. That pattern looks neat when it's smoked.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen this form of trolling where you or no, it's happening. So they have their smoke button bound to their single tap key because they're a single tapper. And now we have to do this, but the smoke is invisible on their skin.
Oh god.
So they're playing just fine. It's only us who have to suffer. No, Yosi. Zakatel is holding on to the FC on the other side, but it is the drawers show for Ganyu holding on to the Sol FC on Peru, looking to close it out.
I fear the map is over, and yeah, Yosi also looking his looking a little bit more like Chicken Scratch. That one's there's some nice artistic differences between the two, but with that, this is going to be a very dominant Peru victory here on this hidden 2, and they are going to be taking this match 5-1.
Yeah, a solid showing for Peru here, but the 5WC show isn't over. I want to bring you guys to some of these other streams before any other matches end. It's currently about to be Spain beating out France on the Nomad 5 to stay alive in their matchup on the Tay Tournament channel. As well as on the Aki channel, it's Czechia with a current 40k advantage on the same hidden 2, trying to stay alive against Poland. So, feel free to go to either our A, our B, or C streams for any of those matches, but my have been Hubba, he's been Dragons. Shoutouts to Peru for getting #1 in their group via this victory. Switzerland, unfortunately, not to be making it into the bracket stage, but solid showings regardless from every team. And we will catch you all next time for the next matches in 5WC next weekend. Bon voyage.